Hello friends, today we are going to perform an experiment to determine the wavelength of sodium light by Newton's ring experiment. And we will also perform an experiment to determine the radius of curvature of a curved surface using the same experiment, Newton's ring. Both of these experiments are almost the same with a minor difference that we will come to know by the end of this video. Now let us see how Newton rings are formed. So first of all, if we have a flat glass slab and we place a plano-convex glass surface on this, then the gap in between them behaves like a thin air film. When a monochromatic light falls on this, then one light is reflected by the glass slab while one light is reflected by the plano-convex surface. They all together interfere and give us interference pattern. Now in the case of normal incidence, similarly one light is reflected by the glass slab and one light is reflected by the plano-convex surface, and we observe a pattern like this. These rings are known as Newton rings. So the center of this ring is dark. This is because of Stokes law. You can read about Stokes law in my Newton ring viva voce video. Now let us see how to perform this experiment. So first of all, we need a sodium lamp and we cover this using a wooden box with a window through which yellow light comes out. We have a flat glass slab and one plano-convex glass slab which is convex at one side and plane at another side. So we put the convex side on the flat glass slab. Now we also have a wooden structure like this in which at 45 degree there is a transparent glass. Now we can turn this and put this arrangement of glass plate and plano-convex plate in this, and this will become like this. Along with this, we also need a traveling microscope. So now we can start this experiment. So let us rearrange our apparatus and place them in such a way such that the yellow light comes out from the window of the wooden box, which is then reflected by the glass of the wooden structure, and the reflected light from the glass plates goes to telescope. In fact, this is a normal incidence, but just for understanding purposes, I am showing this at some angle. So finally, we will observe a pattern like this. So this is our Newton ring. So if we look from the eyepiece of this telescope, will look something like this. First, adjust the cross wire at the center of the central dark. After that, using this knob, move towards right of the central dark. You will look that some initial rings are hazy. So leave those rings and switch to fourth or fifth ring, which is sharply defined and clear to you. Consider this as the kth circle or kth ring. Now note down its position in the scale given on this traveling microscope. This is like reading a vernier calipers. To know about how to read a traveling microscope, you can watch my video on how to read vernier calipers. So you can note down its position. If you look at this perspective, you are moving towards right of the central dark. That's why I have named it as kth circle towards right of central dark. Now move your cross wire to the next dark, and this is k plus 1th circle. Similarly, move to k plus 10th circle and keep observing the position of each circle. After reaching 10th circle, now come back towards the central dark. First you will reach the 9th circle. Similarly, in this way, while observing the position of each circle, come back to the kth circle. Now we have observed from kth to k plus 10th rings position reading towards the right side of the central dark. As we have done towards the right side of the central dark, we will repeat exactly the same procedure towards the left side of the central dark. Now we will come to the same kth. If you have selected fourth ring earlier and taken it as kth ring, so this time again come to the fourth ring and start the experiment. So first we will observe the position of kth circle. After that k plus 1 circle, Similarly, we will reach to k plus 10th and we will come back k plus 9th and then kth back again. So with all these readings, now we make a table of it. So in this table, first in the second column, we are going to write down the values of the position of the Newton's ring when we moved from k to k plus 10th ring towards the right of the central dark. Then when we came back from the k plus 10th to kth ring, which is towards the right of the central dark, we will write its value in this fifth column. Similarly, when we started moving towards the left of the central dark from kth to k plus 10th circle, then we will write down their positions in the third column, and similarly when we came back from that position from the 10th ring to the kth ring, then we will write its position in this column. So now we have taken together the right and left hand reading of each circle. Now if we take the difference of these two, we can find out the value of their diameters when we are going away from the center and when we are coming towards the center. So in this way, for same circle we have found two diameters. Now we can take the mean of these two diameters, which is in centimeter. Finally we can convert this to the SI unit meter, and in the last column we can calculate the square of this diameter. In this way we can prepare this table. Finally, to observe the wavelength of sodium light in this experiment, we can perform this using two methods. In first method, we can do this mathematically. So in this method, as we know the diameter of kth and k plus 5th ring, so we will find the difference of their squares, and similarly k plus 6th and k plus 1st. So similarly we will find the differences of their squares, and at the end for the difference of 5 rings we will find their mean. Basically the formula for the wavelength of sodium light in this experiment is this. So in this experiment we have taken m as 5, the difference of 5 rings. So the formula converts to this one, in which the mean value is the mean value we observed from this table divided by 4, 5 and r. This r is the quantity which is radius of curvature of the convex surface, but we are going to discuss about this in a while. Now let us move towards the second method, which is the graphical method. Along x-axis we can draw k plus 1 up to k plus 10 values, and along y-axis we can draw the square of these diameters. We will find this as a straight line. Now we can draw two perpendicular lines on this line and find out its slope. So basically the formula for wavelength is this, as we have discussed earlier. The difference of square of diameters divided by this m can be replaced by the slope of this line. So finally the formula becomes wavelength is equal to slope divided by 4r. So in this way we can find out the wavelength of sodium light using Newton's ring experiment. But the quantity r, which is the radius of curvature of this convex surface, is still unknown. Now to find this out, we need a spherometer, which looks like this. So a spherometer, to find out the radius of curvature, the formula is this. In this formula we have two variable quantities, one is L and another is H. L is the distance between two legs of this spherometer, which can be easily measured 3 times between its 3 legs. Now we need to find out this value H. On a curved surface, if we place our spherometer, then basically this distance is known as H. The readings of this spherometer is similar to the readings of screw gauge. So this scale is same as the main scale, and this disc type scale is similar to the circular scale. Now if you want to know how to measure a reading using screw gauge, watch my video dedicated to that topic as well. Now to find out the value of H, once we will place this spherometer on a flat surface and measure its reading, and once we will place this on the convex surface and we'll measure its reading. Finally we will make a table of it. So basically in the second column we are going to write its reading on the plane surface, and in the third column we are going to write its value for the convex surface. Finally we can take their difference as the value of h. As we have already calculated the value of L, so we can calculate the value of R, which is the radius of curvature. For better accuracy, we are going to repeat this step 2 more times. In this formula, now we can also insert the value of R and can easily find out the value of wavelength of sodium light using Newton's ring experiment. On the other hand, if we just know what is the wavelength of sodium light, so just by switching the values of R and lambda in this formula, we can shape it like this, such that if we know the value of wavelength of sodium light, we can easily calculate the value of radius of curvature using any method. Method 1, which is mathematical, or method 2, which is graphical. So in this way, this experiment of Newton's ring can be performed. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe to my channel. Have a good day.